Hi, well, welcome to this year's Inktober challenge. As usual, I didn't follow the Jake Parker official prompt list, but I followed Cat Wheezy, I think that's how you pronounce it, challenge to draw a black cat every day for October for my choice in October's so every day through October, draw a black cat, and obviously because I used to have a black cat who passed away in July of 2020, my little boy Fergie, he is the main focus of this challenge for this year. I used lots of photos, some were printed, some were on my Facebook. So yeah, it's been really good to just go through that. For this Inktober, and I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's definitely my favourite Inktober challenge that I've taken part in, and the first one that hasn't been Halloweeny, so to speak. So here we go. This sketchbook is actually a Swarovski notebook that my mum had given me. The paper's actually quite nice. There isn't any information in regards to the paperweight, but yep, Swarovski. And then it's got the tie part, but because I'm holding the camera with the tripod thing, because it's too short to stand on its own, it can't, it's not got enough height, unfortunately, and it's got a little Swarovski symbol there for the little swan or whatever it is. So here we go. This is just the title page that I had signed, which is a picture of Fergie. I couldn't really see any details, so it was just like mostly a black silhouette of him. So, yep, put that in for the title page. So, this came from a photo on my windowsill in the bedroom before I moved house a couple of months ago. But this was taken years ago. So, you're sitting in the windowsill and it was winter. And there was huge icicles. Now, I'm in Scotland. You get the icicles, but these were about half the height of me, and I'm 5'3.5". So yeah, these were really big icicles, and that's what he was staring at. This one, he was just in my bedroom, and I just thought he looked cute, so I took a photo, and he was kind of half blinded by the flash. And I have to say it, peekaboo. He was sitting in the windowsill in the living room, and he poked his head through it, and it was just good timing that I managed to get a picture of it. That was on a very old phone. The photo was really fuzzy looking, very grainy. And just, again, he just looked cute. He was sitting in the armrest of the couch and just looking to the side. Curled up in a ball on my office seat in my bedroom. Just snoozing away. And again. This one seemed to be very popular on Instagram. It's not one of my favourites at all, but this is him sitting on some of my art stuff, which he did on a regular basis. My sketchbook was under this little case that had pencils and pastels and some graphite pencils, the ones without the wood through them. It was just a little case that I actually used like as a sort of lap desk, and I would use my sketchbook on top of that, but for some reason it was the other way about on the bed, and he just decided to jump on it. He is curried into my leg, and if you don't know what curried in, it's just cuddling in. As far as I know, it's a Scottish phrase, curried in, but yeah, this was one of I was starting to kind of get the gist of how to use the Posca pens. So I was using Posca pens, should have said this earlier, sorry. Posca pens and the Daler Rowney ones, paint pens, and they're just really fun to use, so that's why it's very stylised. This is one of my favourite ones. Look at that pink tongue. Just he's having a wee bit of a bath now. Not the best moment to, photograph anybody, but, it was a cute picture. sitting on my windowsill, which is a common thing you might find. He does not look very pleased. He was a very photogenic cat, but never liked his photo being taken. And in this one, he is after my Rice Krispies, or more so, the milk from my Rice Krispies. And yes, I know milk is supposed to be bad for cats, they're supposed to be lactose intolerant, but he always wanted a bit of the milk, so he only got the last tablespoonful from the bowl. So he waited patiently. Maybe sometimes the paw would go into my leg as if to go hurry up, but that's when he got it, and not any time sooner. I'm sorry if it's been out of focus this entire time, but here's hoping it will stay that way in focus. He was sitting in the kitchen from this photo reference. It's not quite how he was looking. His face seems a bit too big for his body in this one, but I still like it. And this just doesn't look anything like him. What is that face like? It looks like he's got half a face missing. Ah, well, it was still fun. But he was out in the back garden in the sunshine. And this was supposed to be, the sun was shining in his face. And he was sitting on my desk chair. Office chair, whatever you want to call it. It could have done with more highlight, but I think I was still trying to get to grips with how I was doing this, but with the Posca pens, because obviously it's quite challenging, you can't exactly blend very much, although because they were still kind of wet, it's kind of blended in, but not too much. I definitely could have done with the mid grey for this, the sort of darker grey, because that doesn't look too, very much like the photo, but it's got the gist of it. And I actually used a metallic, I don't know if you can see that, oh you can a wee bit, a metallic paint pen. I think it was the Molotow chrome pen I used for his collar, because it was like a silvery reflective collar he had on at that point. He went through a lot of colours. And this one, although the shape of his face isn't quite right, you can't really see the details of his face. As he was sitting out in the back fence, at the back gate, and he was actually staring at my Uncle Paul's dog, who was in the back garden. He wasn't very pleased about it, but he stayed there. He felt safe on the fence, so he didn't run away, thankfully. And he was just sitting, having a wee look at me, probably thinking, why you take my photo again? Having a snooze. He was actually chilled out on my bed, leaning against my leg in this photo, if I remember correctly. Yeah. This was the first time I actually felt bad just drawing him, because he's sitting on one of those radiator seats, and actually Rufus, his brother from another mother, was sitting in one of the radiator seats here, just behind him. But he shows up eventually. In this one, he's not really turned out so great in this, but Rufus isn't too bad. He's not been coloured in so much, but just, why is this not focusing? Oh well, it's not wanting to focus on Rufus. It's probably because it's so pale. But yeah, it was just a wee nice photo of seeing the two of them together in a sort of weird way. And he is lying on my art stuff again in this one, sprawled out in the living room rug, getting a chin scratch. and he decided in the photo reference from this one, I had just come out the shower and I'd used some sort of limited edition shower gel, and I think the smell of it, he just wanted to kind of be near it. He had a strange thing where my mum would be washing the bathroom or the kitchen and she'd be using bleach, and he would decide to rub his face in it, which I thought was really dangerous because it's bleach, and I thought, oh, he'll end up going blind rubbing his face in the washcloths, but nah, he seemed to like bleach like it was catnip. Yeah, but he wanted a wee cuddle while I was just sitting there drying off. Just wanted to curry in. Again, he's sitting on my art stuff. These were a couple of notebooks as well. Having a wee doze on my bed. Another wee chin scratch. This one is not art stuff. This is him being my manager for the day, which he did quite often working from home, especially after the year of 2020. He sat on my work diary, which is what he's sitting on in this, and he was just looking at me as if to go, okay, I'm watching what you're doing it all right, just make sure you keep working. Cleaning his paw. This was actually after his dinner. I can remember him like having his dinner up in the corner of the room and then coming down and then having a clean. And this is my most favourite reference. Well, this is my other favourite picture that I've done of him, but it comes from my favourite photo of him, and I will just grab that for you just so you can see. If you just give me 2 wee seconds. Ta-da! This is the reference photo from my favourite picture, or one of the favourite pictures that I did. So just to sum up the last one, and you can see the reference next to the photo. I mean, obviously it's not identical. You can only do so much with paint pens. They're quite hard to blend, but I like the stylistic sort of style that I've done through this challenge for drawing Fergie. But I thoroughly enjoyed this challenge. It is definitely my favourite, and I hope you enjoyed watching the flip through and listening to me ramble on about Fergie and what he was doing in the photos, if he was doing anything much, that is. Thanks again for watching, and until the next one, bye!